2010, you had this article talking about homosexuality in sports. You felt like it had merit because you read a book from an NBA player that did come out afterwards and spoke about his experience. And then this story was changed a little bit, and then you got labelled homophobic, which fucking blew up. And who would have thought that just one opinion would make such a bloody controversy? And then you later alluded to that someone might have been on performance-enhancing drugs. They found a name, they dragged his name through the mud, and again, you're in the centre of this whole fucking whole thing. Like, when you started playing footy, do you remember the news and the media being like that, being headhunters looking for anything that would get a click? I guess the internet didn't exist as it does now, but it just seems like, especially the news that I'm privy to and know exist, just all seem about being to get that click, to get that reaction, to tell you how fucking shit the world is, to tell you why everything's bad and you should stay comfortable. And
so that is a fantastic question. So
thank you.
When I started,
mastered my craft already.
Yes, Glenn's very impressive. I think he did the wanker finger or the wank.
He's gonna be fired soon. I've got a couple of resumes.
We really got to get him a mic.
No, he's fine without a mic, I think. I want to get him on camera, but he maybe one day.
Is that a mic on the side there? You can flick that down and talk. Can you do that, like on your headset? Your headset. That's a headset you could actually talk into. Anyway, he's chosen not to talk, so that's his decision.
Well, like in his religion, like they do the cone of silence.
Yeah, right. Fucking good for prison. And the mafia. He's like, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. So to answer your question, when I started, the journos in that era, so this is just print, were they were good in the sense that they played the long game. They'd be out with you drinking, but then they wouldn't tell everyone what just happened. And they were good like that.
So they wanted the relationship with you.
Very much relationship.
That, yeah.
As time went on, obviously internet priorities changed for people who were in the media. Now, media are owned by very wealthy people. I don't give a fuck about if they're destroying you or the next bloke. And that's important to remember. Happens in America, happens in Australia.
It's fucking way more entertaining in America.
Way more entertaining. But those blokes that are running it, their agendas are basically about the people who own the media. So they push shit for their own reasons. So if they're like gun laws, for example, they're running the gun companies that supply the bullets and, go to war is a great thing because then they fucking make more money. So just shit like that can happen. And you get these individual agendas. But as time went by, and I was guilty of it as well, you sort of start going harder than you really psychologically want to. That's why I got out of the media, because I didn't feel that comfortable, because not really me saying, oh, fuck, Carlos did this, he did that, and this is what I think of him. Like, opinions are fine because, but you back it up with fact and you say, look, I think for these reasons he's acting a bit of a dickhead, And it happens. I'm not saying he's a dickhead, he's just acting like one. So there's a big difference. I think 2 years before that gay article, for example, I'd said that they should come out.
Yep.
Not one fucking story. Great idea. So in the 2 years, when I sort of said, they made it out as, like I said, don't come out.
Yeah.
Which wasn't true. I was like, come out by all means. But you know what? In England, they had a player come out and he said that particular gay player said, this is the dumbest thing he ever did. Because it wasn't that he wasn't happy and comfortable who he was. It was just his own fans. His own fucking fans turned on him. And in footy, your fans are important to the sense they come in, they pay your wages, they give you the noise that gets you excited, And so he said he regretted that. So I used that example. The problem was at the time, it was the process in getting to, like, every week when I did my articles had to be ticked off by the club. Because the club at the time, the Western Bulldogs, are pretty fucking paranoid, to be honest. When I was up here in Brisbane, well, they had a different view. We needed Aussie Rules footy in the headlines for the right reasons, which were generally I started and no one was doing it. Lee Matthews and I were doing it.
Yep.
Within a year after that, I was fucking just the sacrificial lamb, set the tone, then Vossi, Lynchy, Leper, all on TV, radio, doing columns. That fucking wasn't happening when I started. Won the Brownlow, did it in 2002. So you can look at the history of it. But by 2010, when I said that stuff about the gay people coming out, I can give a fuck what you do in your bedroom.
Yeah.
It's like a vegan telling me how great their fucking vegan diet is. That's fucking all good for
Good
you.
on you.
Show me the evidence that it's going to make you live longer and better and healthier, and I'll read. I'll listen to it. But if you start fucking telling me that it's the best thing ever, we're the only way, we're fucking. It's like those religious nuts. Like fuck,
exactly the same.
This God's only the one. It's like it's too much. I'm like, well, don't fucking force it down my throat. So being gay was a choice that is not theirs probably. Come out of the closet, I didn't really care. Yeah. And then the problem was a couple of players within my group, a couple of fucking players did have a problem. And they were fucking big sooks. And there were a couple of players, one's a coach, now one's in the media, a guy called Robert Murphy and a guy called Ben Hudson. Ben Hudson coaches up here. Ben Hudson didn't like me at that stage because I fucking had a falling out with him. He said to the brass, look, fuck, and Robert, look, how could this happen? You blokes should be better. Had a massive fucking tanty, which, but that's their opinion, and by rights they can say that. Didn't say it to fucking me, who you should, but had a sook to fucking the coach and then and the president and the board. And I'm like, listen, fuck, when I got a problem, and if it's not my problem, it's your problem, or I got a problem with it, let's go and have a chat about it. Let's fucking sort it out. These blokes couldn't fucking avoid me anymore. And eventually they said, either we're playing or we're not playing if he's playing. Yeah. Which is just typical fucking selfishness, just fucking selfish. Don't even put it in any other category. Don't even tell me your opinion because it's just fucking all about you. So that was happening in the background, which I didn't know till years later. So even in that book doesn't state it when it should. But that's only come to light through, various sources, etc. Yep. The drug stuff, well, that was fucking. Everyone in the league knew, no one wanted to talk about it, which wasn't like good for me to talk about it. It was a column. Red Cadell Evans spoke about a guy called Rasmussen. Rasmussen was caught for drugs. Rasmussen would go and beat him, for example, through his career in mountain biking and stuff. Yep. Always no good during the year, big event, fucking win. And for Cadell, I can see that's annoying. Yeah, because I know you're not that good, but then you become good. And in cycling, you can get away with fucking, EPO and performance.
Well, yeah, they did that for a long time, eh? Like even Lance.
Everyone was
eventually. Every single person was doing it.
And Lance competitions were all on it. Yeah. It wasn't like Lance was just doing it better.
It wasn't him in isolation. It was every single person.
Lance took that shit to the next level. Like, fuck.
I think someone said, like, if you went and banned every single person that was doing it, you'd have to go down to, like, something like 26th place to get your winner or something like that. Just ridiculous.
The whole sport was rife with it. Yeah. But then you see the odd freak, the natural freaks, etc. But that, and in those sports, you should be able to have success if you've got some talent and some roadcraft and a few other fucking things you need, not just a big engine. So my point, and having played this particular player who ended up getting outed in the media, it wasn't hard, but I never mentioned his name, which was good because at the time you could get sued and etc. He tried to sue me, this particular player, because Michael Braun came out, and I played on Michael all the time. Yeah. Brawny, mate, he fucking wasn't that good. Like, as most players have played on me, when you get tagged, they're not the guys kicking the goals. They can't kick it from 70
That's why they're
feet.
A tagger.
They're a tagger. They're playing a role, in the industry, they're the shit kickers, fucking, we know that they're not as talented. If they were, they'd be the stars. And he would play on me and I'd, towel him up. And wasn't hard. Pretty much everyone I fucking played against, It's a bit like Michael Jordan saying, Gary Payton was a problem. He's like, fucking not Payton. Yeah. He had a couple of good games and I didn't get the ball and do this, but fuck, team sports, you can have that. Yeah. Get fucked. So with Brawny, this particular day, I was coming back from a hamstring, but I was running good. I was fit and fast. Yeah. And I say in the book, I did like a 60-metre sprint. I came back for another leg and then came back, ended up getting the ball, turned around, kicked it into the forward 50, but then turned over, goes out the other side. Now, after 180 metres or thereabouts, I'm fucking tired, and playing on him all the time. Yeah. And Ben Cousins, guys like this, I knew exactly where they're at. They were like me, quickish, not as quick, but, could run about the same, endurance. Well, I fucking look over and he's off the other side of the ground. I'm like, man, that doesn't look right. Yeah. Doesn't look right. Yeah. And similarly to what Cadell was saying, like, fuck, mate, we all know, but hey, you finally got caught. So you should. Yeah. You're a fucking cheat. So at the time, I'm thinking that these guys are improving their endurance through, say, EPO or stuff like endurance based.
No one's talking about it either.
No one's talking about it. Yeah. Now, in the end, it wasn't that. It was amphetamines. And in fact, you can see Ben Cousins was not the only guy on amphetamines. He's the story around West Coast. But, from Daniel Chick, he'll come out and tell you, yep, what Acker said was fucking spot on.
Yeah.
That's why you never hear, I could say this now, and Brawny's not going to come out and fucking say it because he knows, well, fuck, let's go back to what you were, because I got all your teammates saying fucking you were on every drug known to man at that stage, including amphetamines and carry on.
Yeah.
It's just the truth.
You just watch the Ben Cousins documentary and like it's hard to imagine that it's just him in isolation, It wasn't. He was the leader and everyone followed him. A bit like what Mainwaring was to him. So Mainwaring was, he was the man's man. Like you had blokes who were better players, but no one wanted to hang around a better bloke than him. He was out drinking and partying and fucking on drugs and carry on. It's great fun. And Ben naturally looking up the blokes, as you do in footy, you always got the guys you're kind of looking at. And for Ben being a good player was not as good in his mind as being a good bloke. So Mainwaring was the guy. Everyone just gravitated to him. Everyone loved him. Chicks hung around him. Blokes wanted to be with him. You hung out with him and you had the chance of getting all the other pussy that was floating around. It was pretty simple. So for Ben, to look up to him and, Ben was there the night he had a heart attack and died, Chris Mainwaring, from cocaine and a few other sort of drugs that were in his system. So Ben naturally is just following, like many do, down the wrong crowd, But Ben had a history of kind of making those choices. And in the end, he had the choice like all of us. You can go that way or you go that way and you can be where he is or you can be where I am or the next guy. So that was really, that year taught me about just the fucking annoying part of having an opinion that was strong. Yeah.
Now, I don't give a shit that you don't agree, but when blokes, I was about to get on a plane to go overseas at Melbourne Airport, coming down Tullamarine, you've got like, I don't know if you've got like all the car parking, you go across the bridge to get into the international park.
Yeah.
This bloke starts fucking abusing me and I'm like, fucking.
After this article?
Yeah, it was actually after the Jim Steins article.
Right.
And I kind of didn't pick up what he'd said, but he was swearing at me. And I've got my wife's in front of me. I'm sort of pushing.
It's crazy how people can fucking think that's okay. You're with your family on personal.
Yeah, they weren't next to me. They were just in front of me, and they were. Megan was pushing the other. Yeah. My wife was pushing the other bags, and the daughters, our two daughters at that stage, we've got three daughters now, but we're with her, and I was behind by a few metres because you got to go single file because other people were coming.
Yeah, there's people everywhere in that bloody place.
This bloke, probably from about 20 metres away, just starts fucking abusing me, like fucking. Mate, you're a fuckwit, you're this and that. And he came past me and I just wasn't competent. Yeah. I was like, get fucked, mate, fuck you. You got to be fuck off. Fuck off, no, fuck off. And it was shaping up for a fight. And I'm thinking, fuck, this is how fucking stupid it is. One, if I punch the shit out of him or he punch the shit out of me, I'll be in the pain.
Either way, yeah, you're fucked.
You can't win. And then this bloke just thought it's fucking his right to do that, which is another thing. And I thought then and there, mate, I think this is not for me. I'm not really want to walk down the street and be abused anyway. But when people feel so strongly about something like that or drugs or whatever, I go to Perth and people were like, into me about what I said about Braun and stuff and booing me when I'd get the footy. And now they don't fucking do it. Now they don't boo me. They walk the streets and go, man, what you said was fucking spot on and all that. Yeah. It doesn't give me any great comfort that you're right then and right now. It just means that that's the Zen good and bad. You got to take both. Yeah. You can't fucking have an opinion and then not cop some criticism on the way out because it don't matter what you do. The fucking flat earthers. Earth's flat. Fucking what planet are these blokes on? Like, here's the evidence. And then by the end of you, like, that could happen. Yeah. Just fucking horseshit. But anyway, that's the reality of opinions, beliefs.